time for another beer, rum, and rock rock shot. This time, Jamie Landry and I are celebrating the 40th anniversary of RATT's debut album, Out of the Cellar. Released on February 17th, 1984, it was an immediate success. With the help of nationwide radio airplay and videos in heavy rotation on MTV, it went triple platinum in the US alone, and would eventually become the band's top-selling album. The album was produced by Beau Hill, who went on to produce the next 3 RATT albums, all of which went multi-platinum. The band consisted of Bobby Blotzer, drums and percussion, Warren DeMartini, guitars and backing vocals, Stephen Piercy, lead vocals, Juan Crucier, bass guitar and backing vocals, and Robin Crosby, guitars and backing vocals. All right, Jamie, you ready to rat and roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man.
What do you got going tonight?
A Nemesis IPA.
Nemesis IPA. See, I'm just boring. I've got like a fucking cheap-ass Lucky Lager is what I'm drinking.
Actually, I always drink PBR. This just happens to be in the fridge. I'm like, yeah, I like this stuff. So
right on. Cheers, buddy. Okay, man. RATT's debut album, Out of the Cellar. I'll start like I always do. I want you to tell me when this band came into your life and when this album came into your life and what impact they had on you, man.
I believe I was 12 years old or just turning 12 years old. And I begged for this cassette for my birthday, like begged for it. And I got it. And I just remember hearing Back for More. As kids, we used to do these stupid little air band shit and fight over who got to be the lead guitar player.
Sure.
Right? And it's funny, Back for More was just one of those songs where that was the one we all fought over. But it's funny, like I didn't even know how to play guitar yet. Like I didn't even own a guitar yet.
Right.
But I knew I wanted to. Like it's just funny to remember fighting over that shit, you know? Back for More was the one that fucking really got me.
That was the song, hey? Yeah, who doesn't have an air band story? I did the same thing, man. I mean, I'm a little bit older than you, but yeah, I remember building air guitars out of plywood, painting them, and I had no idea how to play a guitar. Yeah, right?
That's too funny. Like we would sit in the backyard for hours or the basement, whatever. Yep. It's just pretty funny to think about it now.
It is pretty funny. I remember selling tickets in the neighborhood and shit. It was fucking crazy. Neighbors came over.
Awesome.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm a bit older than you. I was 18 when this thing came out, right? And I was full-blown rockhead, of course. I had hair back then, Jamie, believe it or not. And I'm buying all the rock mags, Circus, Hit Parader, Cream. And I feel like I can remember seeing an ad for this album in there. And around that time, the video was on heavy rotation. So the combination of that, I'm like, fuck, I got to buy this fucking album. And here it is. Look at that.
Nice.
Tawny Katane on the cover. Hey, look at that.
Yep.
On all fours, of course. Apparently Robin Crosby was dating her at the time, so maybe that's how she got the gig.
It's funny. I saw a picture somebody posted on Facebook of him and her, and it's like before that album for sure, because Robin looks so young and so different than what he does in the videos and shit. But
right,
it was just funny to see. And her too. She looks like a kid. If I remember where I saw it, I'm gonna send it to you.
Awesome. Do that, man. And she's in the Back for More video.
So is Nikki Sixx and Tommy Lee.
I know. It's so awesome, right? So I get the album, take it home, drop the needle, and they were so in my wheelhouse, man. The catchy, heavy riffs, awesome solos, great songs. But man, for me, it was Stephen Piercy's voice that was really the push over the cliff. Like, he just sounded different than all those other singers at that time. I just think his voice is fucking bitchin'.
He definitely did not sound like anyone else, for sure. My only thing, and it's funny, I know we haven't gotten into songs yet, but it's funny, I revisited this album today on the way to work because I was like, you know what, I should probably listen to it even though I know it, but you know what I mean?
Sure.
And I still, to this day, think, how the fuck did you not pick Lack of Communication as song number 1? That should have been the album opener. It just should have been.
You're right. We will get there. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And then one other thing, this might sound silly, but they looked cool as hell. When I was 18, I thought these guys were the fucking coolest. And you could tell they're partying, getting chicks. I mean, in the 80s, this was a must, you know.
Speaking of their look, did you ever read Stephen Piercy's book?
Of course, and it's a great book.
Where he talks about how he liked Duran Duran, so he kind of wanted to be like, the heavy metal version, if you will, of that.
Yeah, mission accomplished. I mean, the outfits were a little over the top, but they just looked cool. They just did. Like him with the hair over the one eye, and they just had a different vibe about him, I thought. Okay, let's talk about the music. So there's 10 tracks in total, clocking in at 36 minutes, 41 seconds, so it's short and sweet. And we're going to pick our top 3 tracks. It was very difficult. You're the guest, so why don't you go first, man? Well, I have a feeling I know the first one. You already mentioned it, but
Yeah, it's got to be Back for More is the first one. That's the one that really blew me away. That intro with the acoustic guitar into the electric guitars. That song, it's funny if you own the EP, and I'm sure you do, because they recorded that on the EP.
Do you mean this?
There you go. Yeah.
Tawny Katane's legs, Jamie.
And it's a totally different version on that,
That's right, yeah.
where a producer stepped in and went, "Hey, this is a great song, but do this and this, and it'll be even better."
Hey, man, while we're talking about this, man, there's some Sweet Cheater. There's some great songs on here.
You think you're tough? Come on.
Oh, man. Walk on the Dog, which Aerosmith recorded as well.
Yes, I love that. That's one of my favorite covers, actually. I love their version of Walk in the Dog. It's very cool.
I agree, man. Yeah, it's awesome. Like, this came out after Out of the Cellar. Technically, it did come out before, but nobody knew who they were, and they redid it, right, with a different photo on the back and shit.
For sure.
What do you talk about being a player? Talk to me about Robin and Warren and their contrasting styles and what was going on there.
Well, it's funny, Robin Crosby doesn't get the credit that he deserves in the band. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't understand shit and I just listened to music. But now that he's not in the band and you see them, it doesn't sound the same. And it's nuts. Like when you read interviews, they talk about how he was the main song arranger, where he made their ideas better because he went, no, do it like this, right?
Right.
And it shows. I mean,
totally, man.
Any album that's come out without him on it, I mean, it's okay, but it's just sounds like there's something missing, right? And I mean, Warren DeMartini, he's a god. Like as a kid, I mean, I can't play like him. I wish I could, but he has his own style and his own sound and his own, he is who he is. But he was definitely a huge influence on me and still is.
Yeah, he's awesome. I agree. I mean, there was some friction there with Warren being on the front of all those guitar magazines and getting all the heat, and Robin kind of getting pushed to the background. But you're right. He fucking kicks ass and should be acknowledged more for sure.
He had a different role in the band. And I mean, it's funny, like I said, the older you get and you go back and listen to shit and pick stuff out and you're like, wow, that guy was the glue holding at least the guitar stuff for me down, right?
Yeah, totally. I wish he kind of would have realized that, because apparently he was kind of bitter about what was going on there in terms of who was getting all the attention, right? But
I'm sure he was still getting a paycheck.
Yeah, I'm sure he was still getting chicks. He was doing okay, yeah. Okay, man, my first pick goes like this. I understand what she's telling me. It's so clear that even I can see. You want to play, you got to pay. She wants money is my first pick. It's written by Juan.
Oh, wow.
The bass player, which is kind of unusual. Yeah. It was the B-side to Wanted Man, the Wanted Man single. And I love it, man. Comes in hard and fucking off it goes. The riffage in this whole song is killer. Nothing really super complicated, but it's really effective, right? Like these guys service the song first. And I love the background vocals on the chorus. Really strong. Warren solo, melodic. Again, he doesn't overplay. Like he services the song typically, right? That's the focus. And Stephen Piercy's vocal, fuck, there's attitude for days. I just love it, man. The track rips. It's my first pick, yeah. She wants money.
It's a great song.
I understand what she's telling me. It's so clear, even I can see. You wanna play, you gotta pay. She wants money. She wants money. She wants
replace it. Well, for me anyway. I like them all.
I do too.
Like this album is wall to wall. Like there's no filler on it for me. It's just some I like a little more than others.
I'm trying to think if there's one that I skip over or not. I don't think there is. So
I mean, I might skip round and round just because it's overplayed. But
yeah.
other than that, yeah, there's no filler on this one at all, man. Okay, give me another one. Give me your second pick.
Well, I said it should be the start of the album, and I still think that when I hear it. Lack of communication, it's great. I love the riff, love everything about the song. It's just a cool song. Again, it should have started the album. To me, I don't know. That would have been the one to open the album if I was in the band.
Yeah, it was my second pick too, man. Yeah, that's Juan and Steven writing that one. That opening riff, god damn, it's cool.
That's just a great song.
It is, and it's kind of unusual in the way it, Steven sings the verse, and then it's that lack of communication back off, and it just repeats throughout, right? It's pretty unique that way. What I love, and it just gives me goosebumps every time, is when that lyric comes in, questions asking why, we have our reason, problems still arise, we have our reason, for, and then Steven yells, back off. It's so bitchin', man. And then there's that lead break, right? Oh, yeah. I love that part. It's just badass. Weird about this one, Jamie, though, is there's not really a guitar solo on it. There isn't like okay, here's the guitar solo. There isn't one.
There isn't a long one. There's that little lead break that you just mentioned for sure.
That's it.
That's right. That's funny.
Which seems nuts when you got DeMartini in the band, but hey, it didn't really need it.
But you know what? It didn't need it. That song doesn't need it. It's just a great song.
It is. Yeah, who's picking the lead off track? Because I like Wanted Man, but it doesn't have the impact, doesn't have the punch that this thing does.
No, and that's my only complaint about this album is I think the way they sequence the tracks, they should have done it differently.
Throughout, hey?
To me, anyway.
Yeah. Okay, give me another one. Give me 3.
Scene of the Crime.
What do you like about it?
Everything. It's just a great song. It's really catchy. I think the fact that it's almost a pop song, if you will, but it's not at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And there's some pretty cool changes in it as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I like it too, right? Just when you think that it's done and it's not, nothing's new's coming, something else comes and it's cool.
It makes it interesting for sure, yeah.
It's just a really catchy song, and it's weird. It's the last song on the album, but I don't think it should have been.
It should have been the lead off track. No, wait a minute.
No, not that. But I mean, it's just one of those songs where it's weird. Like, I'm going to keep talking about this the whole time, but just to me, the album doesn't flow properly. The way they laid it out. I mean, if I could sit down and rearrange it, I would. That's the only thing that gets me about the album. That's my only complaint. I love all the songs. I just think it would have been better had they chose the track listing differently.
It used to be important. Now nobody gives a shit about that. Like people like you and I do. It is important, right? It mattered back then, man. Okay, my third one, just because I'm a sucker for them at this pace, man. I can't resist. And I'm just being contrarian because I'm not picking any hits. I'm going with I'm Insane, written by Robin Crosby. I love this one, man. I love how it starts. That main riff comes in and Blotzer does those super quick drum hits. Gah, 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 right? And the riff is so fucking cool. I mean, it's really good. I'm going to read some lyrics because it's some really catchy, fun lyrics throughout this whole album, man. You lock me up in a padded room, chain me to the floor. Well, I'm headed for a lobotomy and I'm begging them for more. Awesome. Yeah, totally cool. What else do I have to say? DeMartini rips. This has got way more chaos in the solo, right? I mean, it's called I'm Insane, so I'm sure that's why. But yeah, he just goes off on this one, man. And I love A Hard Out. I'm just a sucker for this shit, and it's my number 3.
I can't see no colors. I can't play all games. I should've listened when my mama said, "Child, well I'm insane. Well I'm insane. Well I'm insane. Well I'm insane. I'm insane. I'm insane. I'm insane."
It's a good song. It's definitely one of my favorites off the album as well. Again, how do you only pick 3 songs, right? I struggled for a while because I'm like, as much as Back for More is the one that really got me, the first thing I ever saw was Round and Round, the video, and that's where I really learned of Rat. But like you said, I can't pick that as my top 3 favorites because that's the one song. As soon as somebody says Rat, oh, I know Round and Round, right?
I know.
And I do love the song. I do, but it's just, there's some other songs on there that I like more.
Well, over time, you're going to lean to other ones that aren't so popular, right? That's usually what happens. You're only human, right? Yeah, you're right. It is a good song. There's a reason it's a hit, but yeah, there's ones I like better for sure.
And coolest guitar solo on video ever. He crashes through the floor and lands on a table.
Pretty fucking cool. Yeah. Oh, man. Those videos are just awesome.
Round and round, we'll love, but we just give it time. Round and round, what comes around goes around. I'll tell you why. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you an honorable. What's an honorable? What do you got?
I would probably have to say Round and Round.
You gonna go round and round?
I think I have to.
Yeah. Well, I'll go with a hit too. I Wanted Man to be my honorable. I like the way it starts with that kind of, it's like a drum effect, but it's like it's backwards. And the riff is cool, and the guitar work from Robin and Warren, tasty as hell through the whole thing. What I like about it too is the way Steven delivers some of these lyrics, some of these lines. Fuck, his delivery's cool. Like if you just read it, you'd be like, oh yeah. But the way he punches certain words is just awesome. Like the part where he goes, "You make me feel like a human target in my eyes. I've got you in my sights. And by the rope, you will hang. It's your neck from this rat gang." The way he hits certain words on that is just awesome. He's an underrated vocalist, I think. I know he struggles today, but who doesn't?
I was
going to
say.
Fuck.
I was trying to bite my tongue there for a second because I was like, you have seen him live, right?
Him and Vince Neil tied for first. Yeah.
I saw them, I'm sure you did too, when they played Deerfoot Casino. Were you at that show?
They played the whole album.
They did this whole album, yes.
Of course. Yeah, I was there. You bet.
It's funny. That's the only time I've ever seen them.
I think they played it in sequence too. I know you probably didn't like that.
You know, I was just actually standing there in awe watching Warren DeMartini play all night. So
I was right in front of him, man.
So was I. I was right over on that side too.
We were right next to each other, probably. Hilarious.
It's funny. I went to the pub afterwards and hung out with Bobby Blotzer for like.
You did not.
Super cool. I did, man. Him and Robbie Crane were the only two that I think came out, but Blosser was cool, and because I mentioned this other band that he played with Janie Lane, fuck, he talked to me for like 45 minutes.
That's fucking cool. Anyway, back to Wanted Man. I like the whole Western theme. I think is cool, and it worked lyrically, and in the video it was fun, of course.
The video is cool for sure.
Human target in my eyes. I've got you in my sights. And by the road, you will hang.
Okay, man. Those are our three and our fucking honorable mention. Any final thoughts? What do you think of the production? Does it hold up or does it sound dated or what do you think about that?
I still think my favorite sounding Rat album, like guitar tone wise, all of that shit, is the next one, Invasion of Your Privacy. I remember reading all these interviews with Warren and stuff and back in the day, and then he's like, yeah, on the second album, I finally was able to afford some really good sounding Marshalls and stuff.
I think it sounds good, man. But yeah, Invasion sounds better. I mean, you got the same producer on all of it, so you wonder
Yeah,
what the difference is.
I don't think it sounds dated at
No,
all.
sometimes the drum sound can get really dated. The shotgun snare and all that, you know.
To me, that's where things don't hold up, is when you go back and listen again and notice the difference between today's technology. But I don't hear that in this album at all.
I agree. I don't either. I think it sounds great.
And being a vinyl guy, and you said you're not, but vinyl, you don't really get that in vinyl. It is what it is, right? For the most part, like the original pressing stuff sounds amazing, and I do have this on vinyl, and it sounds amazing. So
Right on. I mean, I still crank it up once in a while. It holds up for me, like I said, man. It just brings back nothing but good memories, man. I mean, the mid 80s. Oh, if you're into hard rock and metal, it didn't get any better. It's awesome.
no, it didn't, and it sucks. We'll never ever see anything like that ever again.
No way. But hey, we were there, man. And these guys, I just thought they were a cut above the other bands on that Sunset Strip scene, man. They were different. My top three are Motley, these guys, and Cinderella. Those are my three, and everything else is way fucking lower.
The funny thing about Rat that I never understood, I mean, when I was a kid and I moved here at 12, my whole thing was, I want to go see Motley Crue. But in the back of my head was, I want to see Rat. But Rat never came here.
Nope,
Ever.
not that I know of, no.
I don't even remember, like, did they tour anywhere in Canada? Like maybe Montreal,
Maybe.
maybe Vancouver? Like they did not play a lot around here.
You're
It's
right.
always weird to me. Like every time I flipped on, when it was later on in the years, like Much Music, they were always in heavy rotation. So people were watching it. People were buying albums. Why did they not tour Canada?
I agree, man. And by the time Invasion came out, like people forget too, they were huge. Like they were an arena band, full on arena band at that point. And I don't recall them being here either. And I just want to go back to how important and awesome MTV, check out that shirt, just how powerful that whole thing was for me, man. Like, I mean, you had Wanted Man, Round and Round, Back for More. Then they released You Think You're Tough off the EP. Like, I just couldn't get enough of seeing any bands that I liked on television, man. It was just mind blowing. And then you get cameos, like you said, from Tommy and Nikki, and Ozzy's in one of them. It just made them that much cooler, right? They're getting the stamp
It did, yeah.
from these guys. And oh, I couldn't get enough of that shit.
You think you're tough, harder than stone. You think you're tough, your talk's getting old. You think you're tough, your heart is stone. You think you're tough, I call your bluff. You think you're tough, your heart is stone. You think you're tough, I call your bluff. You think you're tough, I call your bluff. You think you're tough. Your heart is stone. You think you're tough. Your heart is stone. You think you're tough.
Were you a video guy?
I was, as a kid, exactly what you said. I mean, I'd be up until whatever time in the middle of the night waiting for them to play, hoping to God that on video hits on a Friday night or whatever.
Friday night videos. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, what was the one from Vancouver? Good Rockin' Tonight?
Good
That's what it
rockin'.
was.
Yeah.
So I'd be sitting there waiting, just, is this going to be on? But we don't get that shit no more, because you know what? If it is on and you miss it, you just go onto YouTube and go, oh, hey, there it is. It's not the same, right?
You're right. That anticipation was fucking cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the internet has fucked us all, basically,
Yep.
out of all that stuff. And I think that's why I dig records again, because you sit there and you open it up, you look at it, you read stuff, you're just like, oh, this is so cool. And you think about being a kid, right? That's what it does for me. But yeah, the video stuff, I don't really watch videos anymore. I don't know why I don't. I mean, I do, I go through my phases, but if I watch a video, I'm going to sit down on YouTube and watch a live show, right?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, it was just more fun back then, wasn't it?
It was more fun. This whole technology age, You didn't know everything about everything. You had to learn as you went. And that's been taken away.
Yes. There's no mystery anymore, man.
There's none.
We lived in a good era, man, for sure. All right, Jamie, that's a wrap, man. Thanks for joining me once again.
Thanks for having me.
That was awesome. It's not everybody you can talk to RATT about, so I'm happy to have you.
There should be more people that want to talk about RATT.
I agree, man. All these bands, these Sunset Strip bands, glam bands, hair metal bands, they're not all the same, people. Because I'll get that sometimes. Well, how come you don't like Poison if you like RATT? I'm like, they couldn't be more different. What the fuck are you talking about?
You know, it's funny
You know?
though, because we went through so many years of that shit not being cool, and you're not supposed to think it's good anymore, and it's cheesy and it's shitty. The last like year, I've really started listening to that stuff again because I'm like, I just want to hear something that's fun. It doesn't have to be about how shitty our world is. Like, we all know it's shitty. I just want to put on music and go, oh yeah, ha ha ha, and just have a good time, right?
Exactly. And yes, fine, the lyrics could be, you know, of that time and cheesy or whatever, but the playing was good. Like, there's some great playing happening on these albums.
Definitely.
You know, whether it's DeMartini or fucking Lynch or whoever it is.
And this was like before the times where if you sucked and you still looked cool, they would just get somebody else to play for you, and then you just pretend that you were that cool, right?
That's right. That came later. That's right. With
Yeah.
the sign and everything. Anybody with big hair. Yeah, exactly. All right, man. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We really appreciate you taking the time to hang with Jamie and I. Let us know what you think of RATT's debut in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts and your memories of this album, too. You can find us on all the socials, wherever podcasts are broadcast. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, on behalf of Jamie and I, keep rock alive, people. Peace.
Cheers.
Elvis has left the building.